How's it going, everyone? As you can tell from the title of today's video, I have a bit of an unfortunate update on the Turbo X, which is sitting behind me right here on jack stands. I know I haven't really filmed much of this car as of late, and that's because I've been dealing with an issue on it where the car shakes side to side like this under cornering, and I'll put a video on the screen right here, but when you're just driving down the road, the whole wheel kind of turns. Like any little bump in the road or anything just takes the wheel. It feels very unstable to drive. I've already done a few different things on this car to try and fix it. For example, it has brand new suspension the whole way around. It also has new tie rod ends. It also has new lower control arms. It has a lot of new stuff. And after the last video where I swapped the Turbo X wheels back on to see if the aftermarket wheels were the issue, and that didn't fix it, I just decided that it's time to take it to a professional and have them actually properly diagnose this thing and figure out what's wrong with it. So that's exactly what I did. I took it into IMM Auto Service, which is the best Saab shop that we have out here in the Phoenix area. They are fantastic. They've been working on my cars and my parents' cars probably almost since I was born. So they're extremely knowledgeable. Along with checking what was wrong with this car, I had them do a cross-wheel drive service. Now, I do also have some bad news about that, which I'll talk about here in a minute. You know what? Actually, I am not going to talk about it here in a minute. I'm going to talk about it right now. Let's just go ahead, just rip off the Band-Aid, get straight into the bad news. So, I took the car in on a Monday morning. They called me Monday afternoon. They were just kind of taking it for a drive to, you know, kind of understand what the problem was after I described it. They started doing the cross-wheel drive service, and while they were doing the cross-wheel drive service, the car had a slow leak. Like, I just assumed it was an oil leak. It was a very slow leak. Like, this is all that it had left after probably being parked here for almost a year. So, again, very slow leak. I just figured it was an oil leak. I'd never really gotten under there to actually look at it. But they cleaned off the front transfer case, and when they did that, they noticed that there was a tiny crack in the transfer case. So the car is actually leaking out of the transfer case. Now, this is something that I was made aware of shortly after I bought this car, probably about a month afterwards. A previous owner had told me, oh, hey, by the way, just kind of in passing, like, I think the transfer case on the car you just bought is cracked. So I kind of knew it. It's never really, you know, crossed my mind because it hasn't provided me with any issues. Because of where the crack was, they didn't want to take the drain plug out and then put it back in and tighten it out of fear of making the crack worse. So what they did was they just topped off the fluid and they did all the servicing in the rear end and everything else on the front, and they left it. So that's where we sit with that issue. Just, I take a car in to get it fixed and I just learn more bad things about it. That's just how my world has been going lately. But to get to the point of this video, I guess that's a portion of the update, but not really the update that you're watching for. That's just some additional bad news on the bad news icing on the bad news cake, we'll call it. The bad news cake, however, is that they have no idea what is wrong with this car. So a lot of you have provided plenty of recommendations for me, and I appreciate all of those. Unfortunately, everything that you guys have mentioned and more, they have checked. A lot of you kept saying that I need to get a four-wheel alignment, and I mentioned a few times that I have done that already. I've gotten a four-wheel alignment 2 different times, and it has not fixed anything. Within about 5 or 10 miles of driving, it throws itself back out of alignment. Now, when they were doing their initial check, they did find that there was a bolt that was slightly loose on the steering knuckle. So they tightened that down, they took it for a drive again, they said that didn't make a difference. So they checked everything. They checked all the bushings, wheel bearings, everything with the power steering system. Way more than I can even list right here, because I know you all will probably still have suggestions, and I appreciate them, but I'm 99% sure they've already been checked. And a lot of you also have been commenting saying that your cars have had similar issues and they're actually different, or you're just saying that you had a wheel out of balance. So I'm glad that you got your issues sorted, but that unfortunately is not the problem here. As much as I wish it was just like a wheel being out of balance, it sucks because it's not. So really the plan for this car, actually, and the whole reason I have it up on jack stands, is because at their shop they have an alignment rack, but they said the car is too low for it to fit on their alignment rack. So my plan was going to be raise up the ride height, take it back to them so they could put it on an alignment rack, get a look at everything themselves to see what was up with it, But once I got the car up in the air, I've been thinking about it the last few days. I think what I need to do is just take a pause on this car, because the 9.5 is the car that I've been thinking about selling for the last 2 or 3 months, and it's just been sitting here for the most part. I haven't really been able to work on it because the little free time I do have, I've been devoting to this car as of late. So what I really want to do is just take a pause on this car, come back to it hopefully in the next few weeks. I don't know when exactly, hopefully soon, hopefully sooner than a few weeks, and hopefully fix this 9.5 as soon as possible. So speaking of the 9.5, my next upload in theory should be working on the 9.5 and fixing an oil leak that car has. So you guys will see that hopefully next upload, assuming everything goes to plan. But that car will be for sale soon. I'll probably make an official video going over everything on that car before I actually list it for sale. I wanted to get this project 100% done before I sold it, but I really ended up getting it like 85% done, and just everything going on in life has just not allowed me to finish that. So hopefully it can be someone else's project to finish and they can enjoy it like I enjoyed it for the 6 months or so that I owned it. But again, more details on that to come. If you are interested in it though, I am located in Phoenix, Arizona. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. That'll be the best way to reach me, and we can talk about some stuff ahead of time before I even actually list it for sale. So yeah, the plan with the Turbo X is just going to be raise the ride height and then take it back to IMM, have them do another 4-wheel alignment, and they said if I drive it and it goes out of alignment again, to just bring it back, and they'll check some more stuff. So I'm really praying that they can find a solution, because for them to call me and just say we have no idea what the problem is, we don't know what it could be, is very disheartening and stressful, because I was really hoping this car will be back on the road so I can make more videos with it, enjoy it, but unfortunately for now, I can't. So instead, the only video you get is it sitting here on jack stands right before I move it back into its pretty much permanent home as of late, which is this parking space right here. But yeah, I hope you all found some joy in this video, I guess. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Hopefully some more exciting content to come soon. We will be having our Saab Club of Arizona meet coming up very soon, so there will be a video on that. And yeah, see y'all next time.
Take it easy.